Creator God, as we gather here this evening, we remember the families who grieve the loss of loved ones around the world, in neighboring states and in our own greater community. We are grateful for our own relative prosperity and safety, lifting up our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, our EMTs and first responders who serve and protect us daily. Pray for our community and its elected officials and its dedicated employees. May the deliberations of this council serve the best interests of our city and its residents. For we pray it as we pray all things. Faith, hope, love. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there anybody that wants to speak before the council tonight? If so, come up and sign the register. No? Nobody, Matt? Okay. Reading of the minutes, March 21st, 2023.
I make a motion for approval of the reading of the minutes from March 21st as distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. General fund warrant number 1582.
I make a motion for approval, general fund warrant number 1582 to be approved as distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Road fund warrant number 969.
I make a motion, we approve road fund warrant 969 as distributed.
Second.
Any discussion on that? No? Motion carried.
Anything on there that,
No.
I have to admit, I didn't look at it.
No, that one.
Okay.
Okay. Did I have a first and second?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carried.
Aye.
Next is, I'm going to move things around tonight because. Huh? Oh, I thought we did. No.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Guess you screwed me up, Pam. Sorry. We're going to move number 7 to number 9 and 9 to 7. I have a first reading of resolution number 738, series 2023. And
Make a motion
go ahead.
with me, make a motion. We have resolution 738 series by 2023.
Second.
Excuse me, Mayor. We have a council member who needs to recuse on this as an investor in that project.
Trina, if you will remove yourself and go to the back room, we appreciate it.
Okay, this is a request for a revised detailed district development plan for 10315 and 10317 Waterston Trail, Jeffersontown Beach or J-Town Beach project. It's just across the road there, Waterston Trail and Maple, Milltown, zoned CTC2 with C1 behind it. There's the R4 diagonal and then CTC1 to the southwest, the R4 to the southeast or directly south is the cemetery. Of course, aerial photo. Jeffersontown parking lot is across Peach Alley. So the proposal is to allow for the enclosure of the patio up front. That's kind of the reddish at the bottom of the screen. At the rear of that tract, they're proposing an outdoor bar with a second story kind of viewing area, a sand kind of play area next to it in the yellow. And on track 2 is a golf driving simulator. So it's 3 bays, so there'll be 3 of those on there. The existing house is to remain as the restaurant, and I think they're doing a wine bar in that location. So those are pretty much just the proposed changes to allow these new uses on the property. It was approved by Metro Planning Commission Development Review Committee unanimously on March 15th.
Any questions?
You said the house, is that gonna be a restaurant or?
The White House at the front of Track 2 has been a restaurant. It's been a few different things, and
It's going to be a wine bar.
wine bar,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not sure if they're going to have food in there at some point in time, but
I got you.
I think they will have a different, ever so often they're going to have a dinner in there. Is that right, Danny? Danny, I brought up to Steve today, I like that little white house back there. You know, I've always had an attachment to that. And I would love for that to be donated to the city and Public Works to move it and put it somewhere. But Steve thinks that the tree is holding up that little white house. You think so?
Maybe it could be reconstructed.
Yeah. Anyway, any other?
Approval that we do it,
Pardon?
make approval that, recommend approval that we.
We need, excuse me,
recommend.
sir, we need a first reading of this resolution
Already
before we
read
get to
it.
the approval
Yeah, the reading
by title only.
by title only.
I've already read
He
it.
said he did it. I didn't hear him either. Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
A resolution relating to the approval of a revised detailed district development plan as transmitted from the Louisville Metro Planning Commission for the following development: J-Town Beach, 10315 Watterson Trail, 230001. It was the Metro docket 22 DDP 0136. And as Mr. Rizzi has said, it was approved at that point. And I will adopt Mr. Ruzzi's summary as my own for the purposes of this resolution. This being a resolution, you may entertain a motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you. And Steve, you can leave. Tonight is Steve's 25th wedding anniversary, and he wanted to get out of here.
Anniversary.
Hey, congratulations.
Surprised they
Trina,
didn't,
you can come back
they
now.
didn't celebrate it here.
let her
I mean,
Okay, first,
let Trina come back.
I forgot about you, Trina. I was going to leave you back there. First reading of resolution number 737, series 2023.
Make a motion, we have reading resolution number 737, series 2023 by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What are
Motion.
we on? Number 8?
Yeah, we're on 8 now.
Okay.
7 and 9 switched.
We're just wanting to pick new drug testing companies.
What that is yes, because the one couldn't handle all the, because we're having to have we're not having to, we decided to have the kids drug tested over at the pool this year, that this one particular company couldn't get it all done. So we just want them to have the option to choose alternative
Okay. I
testing.
gotcha.
So that's all that is. So I have a first and second.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
A resolution relating to the amendment of section 4.2 drug and alcohol testing of the city of Jeffersontown, Kentucky employee handbook. By way of summary, this resolution addresses itself to one specific section of the handbook with respect to drug and alcohol testing. As the mayor indicated, there was an issue when the one lab that's mentioned in the handbook was unable to test, I think it was all the lifeguards at the pool. And this will allow the Human Resources Director to seek out other certified labs in order to accomplish this. Again, being a resolution, Madam Mayor, you may entertain a motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. First reading of resolution number 736, series 2023.
Make a motion, we have first reading by resolution 736, series 2032, 23 by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a one-year contract extension with Tony's Wrecker Service, Inc. for towing, recovery, and storage of any size vehicle requested by City of Jeffersontown. By way of summary, this is a renewal contract. I think they've been doing it for a number of years here at the city, and as I understand, the police department is very happy with them. I'll accept that as my summary, Mayor. You may entertain a motion for passage.
Make a motion for approval of resolution number 736, series 2023 by title.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I moved the mayor's remarks up because there was a couple things that I wanted to talk about before we got there, and I talked to Fred about it. The next on my agenda is the Crithers. If you all will remember the last meeting, there was a young man here, Alex Graves, who wanted to get compensation for his athletics, and he does a lot of them. He does volleyball and archery and all kinds of things. And he was not within the time limit that our fund request, but he didn't know any different. And so I'm going to let Pam take it over from here.
Well, I'd like to make, I'd just like to talk about it a little bit, that we reconsider and help this guy out. I met with this guy and he's,
Get your mic, Pam.
and he is trying so hard to make a difference. And, he needs help.
Brothers is a school that could definitely use
Yes. And
some love.
Yeah.
he, they haven't had a baseball team in 12 years at that school.
But their band excels. Like their band is number 1 in the state or something. I mean, so they do have support somewhere with the band being so good, in my opinion.
Well, I just don't think they've ever had the support for the athletics, and they certainly don't have any money. And I feel like that if we can, give other schools $5,000, and that this school is in J-Town, I think we need to reconsider.
What's he
Fine.
asking?
What are they asking? What are they asking for?
I don't think he's asking for, he hasn't,
Well, here's,
Did they
I
fill out a
do.
form?
I do. On one thing he asked for, he wants, and I don't know anything about archery, but on the one thing he's asking for an archery safety screen, it's $1,195.32. We cannot give him cash.
You want me to explain this?
Yes.
Please.
I was hoping to meet the young man before the meeting started tonight. I will get in touch with him tomorrow. The city cannot give money to another taxing district, which is effectively what the school is, nor can we give it to an individual. And what I was going to suggest to this young man, forming a
1C3.
501(c)(3), yeah, the tax code, my real area of expertise. He would have to form himself in order for us to give the money to that particular.
Even if they have a athletic fund?
Well, what we've noticed in the past, and that, we wanted to consider him, but we were just kind of throwing out options. And that's why I brought out the 501(c)(3) last time. Because in the past, when we give money to
JCPS.
a JCPS, it's not used for that cause. It goes into their big pot and the
Yeah.
money doesn't come to this. So
It takes
even though he
years.
has an individual account, as you stated now, we can't, we even had a problem with, what was it, J-Town's Alumni Association. We had to give money. They had to set up something for the Alumni Association of the high school. We couldn't give money to
The
an
tennis courts.
idea of
Right.
Could we not
somebody.
purchase this stuff and give it to the school, donate it to the school?
That would be the same thing. And effectively, the city council can't buy things without some intent for public use. It would have to be purchased and then declared surplus and then put out for bids. I was even thinking in terms of perhaps if the city needed something like this, it could buy one and allow them to use it. That might be a way to go, but I would want to look into that a little further. At this point, I think he could very simply fill out a few papers and get the appropriate classification so the city could forward it to him in that capacity.
And that would also fall under the reimbursement that you're talking about?
Yes.
That if he went and purchased something and came back and then the city could donate at that time,
Exactly,
it would not happen unless there's a 501(c)(3).
exactly.
Okay. Because that's where I was going to go, is let him go buy some stuff and we could reimburse.
See, effectively,
To do that.
you'd be giving it to an individual.
So Pam, what you're going to tell him is that he needs to form a 501(c)(3).
Or you could just tell him to call me. I was going to try to get
How long
hold of
does it take to do that, though? I mean,
Um,
he's in dire need now.
I think you can just go online like LegalZoom or something like that and have it set up in a
Heard
couple
it take-
hours.
I heard it takes time to do that. I don't know. I heard from somebody that it does take time, but I'll go back
I'll-
and tell him.
I was going to ask my accountant. That's what I was going to do because accountants generally handle that under the tax code. But as far as time, I really don't know. I'll find out tomorrow.
They're trying fundraisers. They're having a car show on the 15th.
Have they had any previous fundraisers?
No, not to my knowledge. This is their.
Pam,
first
do you know if they
one.
have like a booster club or something like that
I
that
don't know.
they can tap into that network maybe?
And he wants to do community service with his kids.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Next issue. What'd you say, Tim?
So we just have to figure out a way. We're not against helping. We just got to figure out a way to prepare.
To give it to him, right?
I didn't want to-
This week, this week I received a notice from a lady that's having some issues on Charlene Parkway. And it might be, I think you've talked to her as well,
Yeah, I
Mark.
sent her over to Matt.
I'm going to let Matt address this for you, but just to tell you that that is a $10 million project. That's nothing the city is going to do.
Yeah.
So, and it's under MSD, but I'm going to let Matt explain this to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I did look into that situation several years ago. There is what they call an I&I problem where there's sanitary and stormwater mixing in the sanitary system. And what that causes during a rain event is that system to recharge, which means it will dispel sewage out into the streets from the manholes. MSD has started a program called WIN program. It's about trying to mitigate these types of situations across the whole county. What they've done is partner and make some funding initially available to different property owners where they can come in and put a baffle valve type of system in a lot of their floor drains and stuff to make sure when that system happens and overcharges, it won't backflow into the house.
Mhm.
So this particular resident had that done several years ago. When I read the email, it didn't look like it's recharging back into her house, but she was referencing where it is recharging out in the streets and it's coming up out of the manholes. And so we have had those problems on Dale as well as Charlene Parkway. And when I looked at the MSD consent decree and their schedule to make the improvements in this area and specifically on Dale Road and Charlene Parkway, it's not scheduled until fiscal year 2025, but it's going to be phased. The improvements in that area is going to be phased over 3 years. So in 2025, they're going to spend about $500,000 to mitigate a small element of it. And then the next 2 years, they're spending a little over $4 million in each of those areas to really eventually upsize a lot of the existing system there, create some new pipes in order to handle the additional flow and to separate the stormwater system from the sanitary. And that therefore will eliminate then that recharging of that. The disadvantage is that it's not going to happen until 2025 according to MSD schedule. But what we try to do, and I know Jimmy gets involved with this too, is if we have a large enough rain event and we notice that's going on, we do notify MSD. A lot of times they do come out, they do put a barricade over that area to make sure traffic stays off of it. And then they do kind of schedule it for their crews to come out and do the cleanup and stuff. So it's not a pretty sight by any means, but it's not something that will be solved, at least in this particular area, anytime until starting in 2025. So what we can do is just be that voice with MSD anytime it happens and try to do it. If she's starting to run into any problems with her house, we can reach back out to MSD and they can work with her to fix that valve or any other problems that are internal to her house. But the street system is a lot bigger project.
Right. Anybody got any questions? Nope. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Okay. Next, you know, the Business Expo. We're having a big Business Expo this time again, and it's over at the Marriott like it was. I know it's at the Embassy Square. No, it's the Marriott on Embassy Square on Tuesday, the 25th. I need to know how many of you are going. It's Tuesday, April 25th from 10 a.m. to 11:15. And if you all, for all the new ones that are here, this is where all the businesses in town set up and they display their wares and show you what that they sell and what that they give away. It's like going to the state fair. Okay. And it's kind of fun. So I need to know how many of you are going. We can have a table of 8 for $300, or it's $28 a piece. If you can tell me if you think you're going. Missy asked that I ask you tonight if you thought you're going. If you don't know, I'll tell her, but I was going to start with Ronnie. Do you think you're going to go, Ron, or no? Or
Assuming I'll be here.
are you going somewhere?
Where's he going?
Might,
Oh, okay. Well, you want me to put yes?
yes.
Okay. Vince?
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Pam?
No, I'll be out of town.
Okay, Pam, no. Pam?
Yes.
Mark?
I'm a maybe.
Where's that?
That helps.
Okay.
Is it all day? It's not all day.
No, no, no.
It used to be all day, didn't it?
Well, you can go, come and go, and then at the last, it's
I
kind of
should have been
fun.
there
You
for
do
it.
the tickets and you have the secret aisle, auction and all that.
Just put me down. I'll leave the next morning for that.
Okay.
11 to 1.
Allison is yes. Tim?
He said 10 a.m. to 11:15.
Uh-huh. That's the time of the brunch, but it goes all, it's all day long.
I'm gonna go for maybe.
Okay. Trina?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Okay, I'll give that to Missy. Next thing is, I don't even know if y'all are familiar with this, but the Academy for Individual Excellence, they're up here on Bluebird Lane. They are having a, well, I'll just tell you what it is. It's a breakfast. It's, I don't even know what it's for. Let me find out what it's for. We cordially invite you and other public officials to attend the Academy for Individual Excellence second annual breakfast for individual excellence, April 19th. Meet and greet will begin at 8:40 a.m. I love to meet and greet at 8:40 a.m., but I would rather meet and greet at 4:40 p.m. But whatever.
What day is that, Carol?
Huh?
What day is that?
That is on April 19th.
I can't.
So I've just got, it doesn't ask if,
What time?
8:40 a.m.
Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar.
Like
It's
8:40 in the
St.
morning?
Edward's, Mr. Dare.
April
I think that's
19th. We got a
St.
DARE program, but I don't know what day that is.
It says,
I think
unless it's been moved.
yeah, it's
It's
11.
on April 19th at 11 o'clock.
I'd be more apt to hit that 11 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling y'all, it's that, they're not asking for attendance for that, so I'm just telling you that. Next thing I have is today we met with the Red Cross again. As you well know, it seems that every other week we're having a windstorm around Jeffersontown, and I'm trying to be prepared. I found out a lot of stuff that I didn't know about in the last month or so, but one of the things that Red Cross does is that they will have a class, and the class will teach you how to set up for what do they call that, Chief? To set up a room. Is that what they called it? Yes, temporary shelter. Thank you. I couldn't think of that. So I think because the Senior Citizen Center is probably going to be where we're going to go first, that the people, and Julie doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to nominate Julie to go to this class, and the people that work at Senior Citizen Center to know that, because they're the ones that's going to have to be in charge of it, because that's where it's going to happen. If we have a disaster, they're going to go there first. And then we're going to need volunteers, and the seniors would be great place for the volunteers because we know they'd show up. So this is just starting, and it's all in the works, but it's kind of interesting, and I think that we are moving right ahead on all this. So it's been good. So I just want to tell you that that's what's going on with the American Red Cross. Other than that, I have no comments. So tonight, on my committee reports, Pam Hickey.
The only thing I have is that the Easter Fest was a great success, good turnout. And I had a lot of people come up to me and say that they were so thankful that we do this. So it's a good day.
Pam?
I had a question about your fun facts,
Yes.
because I see a lot of stuff on there and I'm curious.
Well, there's so much, I can't put it all on there. What do you want to know?
You met with, about the property on 6 Mile?
Property on 6 Mile, Old 6 Mile, right?
I don't know if it said Old 6 Mile or not.
Okay, what did,
Met with Ron and,
yes. Okay, so that property is at the corner of Old 6 Mile and Christiana Woods. And I met with Ron about it because that house, we've had several complaints. It's burnt. There was a hoarder that lived there. It is burnt down. And they're getting ready to put it up for sale. And the city's got liens on it in the excess of $47,000. So we're trying to work with the new buyer, whoever comes in. And that's what that meeting was about.
I gotcha.
So, and there's another one on Old 6 Mile Lane that is also bad, and they got trees growing up out of the roof there. But I haven't gotten that far on that one. But that was the second one on Old 6 Mile Lane.
Okay. And the other thing on your fun facts was the Bigelow Tea.
Bigelow Tea.
You met with them?
Yes, that was interesting. You want to, Brian, you want to come up and tell them about the whole thing with Bigelow Tea? And I thought that was an interesting place. We toured it. We didn't tour it, but we met with the guy, and we're going to tour it.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Miss Bigelow's coming in 3 weeks at the end of April to meet with us. What we did with council was we met over at Hollenbeck Oakley, their attorney and their COO, and Bigelow Tea's CEO, yes, was on the Zoom call with us. What they're doing is they already have a piece of property in Jeffersontown. They're going to be building a very large facility, 334,000 square feet, again in Jeffersontown, about an eighth of a mile from where they are now. And that will encompass all their operations. They will move all their employees, all their logistics, as far as their technology over there as well. They're only going to be putting on about 10 or 12 more people for that new facility, but everybody will be moving over. Currently, they plan on keeping the property. They may, depending on what they want to do, long term, they may sell it or lease it. What we met with them for was we talked about the incentives that we have here in Jeffersontown, but more importantly, what's offered through the state, the KBI and the KEIA, and then they can also stack worker training grants, grant and aids, what they are. So all three can be stacked for their purposes. So that's what we met with them about. That's really all we can offer at this point. The facade program is not an option to them because it's a new building. The jobs program is not an option for them either because it's only 10 to 12 new employees, and they're not going to be within that $47,000 a year threshold.
You mean in the new building, the new location they just put up? Because that's not J-Town, is it?
Where they're going to put it up.
Where
Where
they're
they're
gonna
going to put it.
It's 20 acres on Blankenbaker Road.
Okay.
Used to be prior it was owned by KCC, Kentucky Curb Company, but they sold that back to Hollenbeck Oakley, who then sold it, or in the process of developing it, for Bigelow Tea.
Y'all know where that red brick used to be a church, right there on Blankenbaker, right there, and you go straight through and you turn left. It's right there. That 20 acres is right there on the left-hand side.
There used to be an old house there.
Right. But the amazing thing about it is that they're a really big
They're a
tea.
very big organization
Right.
worldwide.
But none of their tea comes from the United States. I thought that was
Yeah,
interesting.
Bigelow Tea they're headquartered in Connecticut. They have 3 facilities, one being Connecticut. The largest facility they have is here in Jeffersontown.
Mm-hmm.
They make 2 billion tea bags annually. 2 billion. And in their flavored teas, you see them in the supermarkets and hotels under the I'm trying to think of the name brand that they use. Mayor, I think
I can't remember. I can't remember.
It doesn't matter at this point. But they're very happy here. And like I said, Miss Bigelow's taking time out of her schedule to come in end of April to meet with us. And at that meeting, Mayor, I've already contacted LG&E, and they will be meeting with us as well, because I've spoke with Roxanne Fry there about the infrastructure that will be needed for that building. So they're pulling records of what they've been using the past year. They will then find out, and then they'll look at what I gave them as far as the size of the building, what infrastructure they'll need for maybe 3-phase wiring or something like that as well. So they'll have all that ready, because they won't break ground until 2024. So another year from now.
Right.
And that was been set back because of the economy and inflationary. They ran into the same thing we've run into as far as cost overruns on that. So they're prepared to go. And the Cabinet for Economic Development may be meeting with us as well that day. Okay, they may come down from Frankfurt for that meeting as well.
We need to annex their new building they just.
It's already in Jeffersontown.
The new one on Real Road in Blankenbaker?
Yes.
Well, yes, that part of Jeffersontown or Blankenbaker is in Jeffersontown.
Okay.
If you come a little bit further towards Blankenbaker Parkway, there is several large parcels of property that are not in Jeffersontown. They actually go back towards
This one
goes
is.
back towards let's say what is it, Rates Fence Company, and that you get some residential homes there too. They are not in Jeffersontown, but this is. So it's exciting.
I would
They're
like to
expanding.
annex the whole Blankenbaker with,
Blankenbaker
yeah.
Station.
Give me the word, Mayor. I'll go stick a flag in it for you.
Yeah, okay. No, Hollenbach Oakley. But anyway, I tell you, since I have been mayor, I have gone to a lot of companies out here, and I've seen a lot of things that I didn't even know existed and what that they do. And that's one of my goals, is to try to go to all these businesses. But you'd be surprised what goes on in Industrial Park that we had no, I didn't know what went on, you know?
So I'd like to let the council know that Mayor here goes to these meetings, and because of her personality, and she's so unassuming, she puts everybody at ease immediately. And so the guy from the COO from Bigelow up in Connecticut felt so comfortable with her. He felt like they were old friends within 2 minutes. It was just a great conversation. And that's why he offered, well, I'll get Miss Bigelow, Cindy Bigelow, so it is. I'll get her and we'll fly down. They're going to fly to Lowell or Jefferson down to meet us. But
Yeah. Thank you,
Tell 'em, Mayor.
Brian.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
One more thing. Were we going to have
You must like my fun facts,
Yeah, I
Friday.
know.
Well, this wasn't on it, but weren't we going to have an active shooter training or something?
We are. That's up to the chief. Chief? I think a couple things I might just tell you all about too. I'm sorry, Mark, to be taking so much time, but we're going to have some changes made here, and I know that people are concerned about their safety. And Major Mills has been working on this about the buzzards. You might want to tell them kind of what goes on with that, if you would. Brendan, would you tell them that? I know you didn't want to speak, but. Right. I never thought about that till just now. For safety concerns. They're working on safety up here. Anyway, is that it?
That's all.
Okay. Mark?
Great. With Finance Committee, just a reminder that we've got a Finance Committee meeting next Monday, April 10th at 4:00 here. Go over revenue for the budget. And then a non-Finance Committee, I want to give a shout out to Jimmy. There was a water main break or water line break over at Nottinghamshire and Laverne this past, I think it was Saturday morning. I shot him a text at like 8:00 in the morning when someone actually just posted on Facebook, and I was like, where is that? And he got in contact with Louisville Water, got him to turn it off right away. So thank you, Jimmy, for taking care of that. Appreciate it. That's it.
Legislative has no reports.
Okay. Tim?
Economic Development has no report. Thank you.
Welcome.
Administration has no report. Thank you.
Money?
Mayor, I'd like to get a little more clarification on Derby bed races. Who's in charge of it?
Well,
No,
there's been a group of us. We've all got together. There's not one particular person in charge, I guess, other than, I guess you can say I'm in charge of it, I guess. I'm the one that put it all together. But Jimmy and his group are making the bed. Our police department is pushing the bed along with the fire department. Emily, the girl up here that works up here, I don't know if y'all know her. She's riding the bed and driving the bed. The seniors are our cheerleaders. And Pam is in charge of getting the food together. Keith Hendrick is cooking, I think hamburgers and hot dogs, I guess is what they're having. And then they're asking for people to bring them aside. At 4:00, I would say come by 4 or so. And it's just going to be like tailgating. And then the bed parade is at 6:00 and the race itself is at 7:00.
good. Thank you.
Is that all you wanted?
Well, that's
wanna
all
ride?
I needed about that.
Okay. Do you want to ride?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we might run for real. We might run a bus from here
Okay.
out to there. So
Be fine.
that's just all in the works.
But I do
That'd be
need,
fine. The only other
I need
thing
to think about bringing a dish.
Okay. The only thing what?
I've got is I may miss next city council meeting.
Okay.
I'm having surgery on the 14th.
I'm sorry.
So, don't feel sorry for me, my God.
I am. I feel sorry for anybody who has surgery.
Well, give me money.
Okay. Okay.
Let's do a GoFundMe.
That's all I got.
Vincent.
Planning and zoning has no report.
Okay. Pam, did you want to say something else?
No, I just need everybody to let me know what they're gonna bring as far as the side
Okay.
bed race. Those
Okay.
that said they were coming, and I turned in our shirt sizes to Emily. I didn't know who to turn them into.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's about it, except for I just wanted to say that Bill and Holly have got their work cut out for them when it comes to trying to set up these meetings. It's almost impossible to try to set up all these budget meetings and with the directors and trying to make arrangements for this one to make it and that one not to make it and this one can make it and that one can't make it. It's just impossible, to do it. So I asked Fred today is if it doesn't matter. So if the director is there, then if we can go on and proceed without you all, we're going to proceed. If y'all can't come to your, and if you're the director, then we're just going to move it on. We're just going to keep on going with it because it's impossible for Billy to keep canceling the meetings and starting them and going over and over. So we respect that, Bill. And I got that. So I even thought about, I don't even know if we could do this, but we could put up, let's say safety. Safety's having a meeting on this estate. For the first 4 people that would respond, you can come and be in the meeting that day. I mean, we're just having trouble getting everybody together. So I don't know the best way to handle it.
We really couldn't do that because with a quorum, we're advertising.
Okay.
Has to be
Okay. Okay.
The
Well,
direct-
anybody else have anything?
Yeah, let me try to explain how it works. We
Okay.
haven't really set up the dates with the directors, but the 3 big departments that we have to talk to, Parks and Rec, Public Works, Safety. Mark's on the Finance Committee. They're meeting next week to get our revenue so we can start the process. Then we'll meet with all the directors. And then what we normally do, because those are our 3 big departments, quote, quote, our big money spenders, we meet with those committees individually. Now, that's where I will have to try to set up dates that you guys can make it. And then once we're done with that, we present the whole budget. Last year, we did it to the committee of the whole before the council meeting, or the mayor did it. We can do it to just the finance committee, and then the mayor can give her presentation and it'll be the May 2nd meeting. We will have our first reading of our budget for next year. Second reading will be the 1st in June. And then we do first reading of there to revise this year's budget in June. And then we have the second meeting to pass that one. So by the end of June, we have our budget set, our revised budget set, and our tax rate set. So I have to start thinking about when we're going to do our tax rate because we have to do it within so many days to have a public hearing. So I'm going to work on that to see when that's going to be at the council meeting. So,
Got that.
but it's the three big committees plus finance that we'll try to negotiate around your all's times and stuff.
But Fred said if they can't come, we can proceed. if
Well,
have
yeah,
a
we
meeting.
can, we will, I don't want to be blunt. We will set the budget if we don't have those meetings.
Right.
And then we'll have a discussion when the overall budget is presented to the full council.
Right.
Then you can have your discussion. But we won't stop the process.
Right, that's the word.
We will continue, we will set the budget. Okay, and that's what, actually, believe it or not, is what the mayor's supposed to do. So he's supposed to set the budget and then you all agree, or you might want to tweak it or whatever you want to do. But we will continue that process. So it won't slow us down if we don't have those big meetings. But when I find a date to do it, it would be nice if we can get something. If we can't, we'll just keep moving forward.
Right, right.
Because I would imagine, right, you're going to have the budget, and though even those departments will be done before we have a meeting. Then we meet to kind of review.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not before we meet you next week. Not
Right.
before the
Like
10th.
like for instance, right, you guys for finance, you guys have already started having conversations about revenue
Oh, we've had
for next year.
conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. And so meeting with finance is just to go over those, and finance just takes a look at them.
Right.
Yeah, take a look at it and
Yeah.
see if you agree or disagree. But public works budget, parks budget,
Safety.
police department budget will all be done before those committees meet.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to sit in that meeting and go the 2 hours we go over the police department, the 2 hours we go over the public works, and the 2 hours we go over parks. You won't be in that meeting with the directors. We'll set it. We'll come talk to you, and they'll discuss their budget to you at that time.
Yeah.
So that's how it's worked in the past. I don't see it changing.
I'm not changing it. No, I'm just asking.
But if anybody's got a better idea, I'm open for any suggestions we could have.
I'm just trying to help you out because you got so many things that you're trying to get scheduled, and it's hard to do it when people can't make it, and moving them around, then somebody else can't make it. So
Well, I appreciate that, but I do have, sometimes I get a little mean and people show up.
yeah, I hear you. Anybody got
Well,
anything
and
else?
I was going to say, and if someone can't make it, it's always going to come back to the council for
It's got to come
that
back
May
to council
2nd.
anyway.
So
But I just didn't want a director to say, hey, or the committee chair say, hey, you didn't, so I'm just trying to make sure everybody understands that we got to keep moving. Okay, anything else? No?
You have no other business,
Ronnie?
Mayor. I make a motion, we adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Motion carried. Okay. Huh? Pam's gonna be gone because she's.
We should do Hamlet and English on an old.
I know, but I'm just trying to say.
Having Hamlet, 56